What's going on, everybody? The Miami Hurricanes have defeated the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 33-30. Was it ugly? Yes, absolutely. It was ugly, but we did get the win at the end of the day, and a win is a win at the end of the day. We got to stand by that. Um, Ross, I know you had a lot to say on your post-game show on the Mark Rogers TV channel. Um, to start off, I'll say this. I agree with what Nos Wilson's saying. Glad we won, but we should have blown them out by a lot more. Having three fumbles, I believe, in the first half and a missed field goal does not help out the cause. You keep bad teams in the game when you give up three fumbles. I will give credit when it's due. We did get the win. We pulled it out, but I felt like we should have won by like 20 plus more points.
There's no reason that we shouldn't have, especially with the start we had. You know, we came out and we were firing. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened. You know, the turnover bug bit us, of course, but I mean, man, it just that life in the offense that we had, we just didn't see it really going at their necks the whole entire game like we were in those first two drives. We did make some pretty cool plays, though. I got to say that we had a couple pretty cool wrinkles that we added into some pass plays that I really liked. But yeah, man, like you said, dude, tight game against a very mediocre team. Should have won by multiple scores. And the sad thing is had we screwed up in a couple more areas, they could have beaten us. That's what's tough, dude.
It's interesting. Like Charleston Rambo had like 200 receiving yards. I felt like he could have had like probably close to 300 receiving yards.
Yeah.
I love the flea flicker to start the first half. I absolutely love that play call.
Yeah.
It scared the hell out of me that Charleston Rambo, like, it wasn't ruled a fumble, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
just the fact that like, it was a fumble was like, dude, come on. Like,
Yeah.
we have to hang on to the football. We have to finish drives. We cannot create turnovers against weak opponents. That's what keeps them in the game. If not, Miami should have won by like 20 or more easily. 100%. Tyler Van Dyke, moving forward, he's our guy. Tremendous job. His offense has to help him out. This is a completely different offense with Tyler Van Dyke as our quarterback. We went empty set. We had triple sets. We had four wide receivers out. Tremendous job, man. I love the offensive play call that we're doing with Rhett Lashley, Tyler Van Dyke. It's night and day compared to the past. Hell of a job. How do you think our O-line played, Ross?
There's some hit or miss on there. Hard for me to say that they played good when they couldn't even get 1 yard pushed on 2 4th and 1s up the gut.
I agree.
It makes it hard. What I will say, though, is that we did have a little bit better pass blocking than we had run blocking. That's what I did notice. The run blocking was a little tough still. But, yeah, you know, when you lose 2 4th and 1s like that, man, it gets under my skin.
Look, Jalen Knighton, he was averaging 5 yards per carry. He had 32 carries. I think it was over 100 yards rushing. If you can, I haven't looked at the stats so far, but I know he averaged 5 yards per carry, which is what ideally what you want. I will say,
162.
162. Jalen Knighton running on the outside is where you need to go. Running through the middle of the field, it's not going to work out. It's not.
No.
It's not going to work running through the middle of the field. You got to move him to the outside. I would love to see Thad Franklin as our third down running back. Corey Brown is kind of like a north and south running back. I don't know. I give Thad Franklin a chance. Local kid from Broward County. Why not give him a chance?
I mean, by definition, he's a bruiser, and the guy actually shows a little bit of explosiveness in his bursts and stuff. You know, when he engages with somebody, when they come to tackle him and he drops his shoulder down, bro, it's just like it's violent sometimes. It's just boom. I want that in our run game, especially on 4th and 1. You know, I mean, dude, Rooster got 32 carries this game, bro. 32 for a guy who's not really a full-time running back. Like,
I love that.
I like it, but use the 32 smarter though. Don't send them up the gut all the time. If you need to send somebody up the gut, use the power guys. I don't want to wear Rooster down. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not physically big enough to me to handle a beating for 3 quarters and then perform at his top level in the 4th quarter.
I do agree. On that. I think your third down running back, I would love to see that Franklin get more carries. I mean, given opportunity, because he doesn't get any carries on third-yard situations, short yardage situations. Give Thad Franklin the ball. Give him carries. Let him eat. Local guy from Broward County. Why not play him? But instead you play Cody Brown. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I will focus on the offense quickly. Wide receiver rotation. Keyshawn Smith got a lot of burn, which was great. He was very interactive in the play call. He did have a drop pass, which could have been moving the chains, kept it going. Charleston Rambo had an easy touchdown. I don't know why he stopped running. I think everyone agrees. Nobody understands that. Then he fumbled the football. Was not his best game, even though he led our team in receptions. He could have had literally 300 receiving yards. Is what it is. We got the win. But still.
Did Harley have a big drop too?
You got to remind me on that. I mean, it's one of those things. I was at the game, can't remember. We did not help out our team offensively at all. Tyler Van Dyke his receiver core did not help him out whatsoever.
No. I'm happy to see, guys like Keyshawn, Harley, even though he's had a slower season than we thought, but getting those guys involved and getting them in the end zone, you build confidence. And that's what we need with these guys. Continue to build confidence in the offense, because with Tyler Van Dyke's dropping them in there, dude, as long as these guys just haul it in, seriously, as long as they just bring it in, we're good to go, bro. We're going to be good to go. We're going to put up more points. Drop passes have been an issue for us.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Tyler Van Dyke, man, I mean, he's our guy moving forward. We got Florida State next week. He's improving every week. The offense it's night and day compared to De'Aaron King. I understand he re-injured his shoulder against Alabama. He's very limited, but I think we found our starting quarterback moving forward.
He fits this Lashley offense better, While it's not a guy, where it's RPO, and we're going to fool the offense because our quarterback's going to take off more than you even expect him to take off. It's a different Lashley offense, but I made comments to you about this before. It reminds me of the SMU Shane Buechele offense. That's what it looks like a lot more with Tyler Van Dyke. And I like that offense. That was one of the offenses from Lashley that I really liked, because it showed versatility. It showed that he didn't have to have a quarterback run for 150 yards just to get production. He could get it through the pass game as well.
I do. Anthony Castillo, he makes an outstanding point. That rooster fumble. I've never seen a ball go up in the air like literally 5 yards and taking it back for a touchdown. I've never seen a 2-point conversion that the opposite effect happens. You're supposed to score 2 points, yet the opposing team scores 2 points on you. Yeah. It was an ugly game. Like, it was really ugly. We should have, we kept Georgia Tech in the game. We won the football game. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy we won, but goddamn, it was hideous. I don't care if you're pro Manny, if you're anti Manny. It was an ugly game, but we got the win at the end of the day. Georgia Tech should have nowhere near been a 3-point game whatsoever. I'm happy for that. Let's switch over to the defense. Ross, what stood out to you? Obviously, Avonte Williams, big interception. Unfortunately, Arroyo had a fumble. But kind of what stood out to you defensively?
Unfortunately, some things that stood out to me were issues that we've still had, not wrapping guys up, not tackling one-on-one very well. I did see some improved play from the secondary. I felt at times, some of these guys were moving around pretty good and they were swarming around. I'm not sure what's up with Couch, dude. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's been the difference with him this year and then last year. I don't know what changed. Kind of we talked about like Frierson too, guys like that. Like it's weird that some of these guys haven't emerged like we thought they were going to emerge, basically. Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's tough, man. It's just tough, man. It's like I said, my biggest thing was hoping to see some of those other guys emerge, and it just simply didn't happen, dude. And it's just depth has been such an issue for me forever, So I was just hoping to see it, man.
Desmond, I apologize. That's my dog in the background. He tends to bark a lot. So my apologies for that. I'm 100% glad to see Avonte Williams make a huge interception. Welcome to the University of Miami. I mean, shit.
Yes.
Like, we've been praising Avante Williams, this huge talent, makes a huge play, gets playing time. We were very curious, unknown as to if he was going to get in the rotation, steps up, makes a big play. Completely glad over that. I will say our linebacker play, I mean, it's a repetitive statement. It needs to change at the University of Miami. This is not a University of Miami personnel. This
No.
is not the new Miami personnel. It needs to be fixed. Our best player is Corey Flagg. He was benched for Ryan Rigoni, I believe, throughout some drives. I don't understand that. He was your best linebacker coming in, which isn't saying much. Then you play a preferred walk on over him, which, hey, that's the coaching staff. That's their take. Something doesn't make sense to me when Flagg is being benched, but you put in a preferred walk on. And he's our
Why
best
the
linebacker.
why the heck isn't Chase Smith getting out there then? You know, like
I agree.
why not
put
have
him
a superior athletic guy at least be able to go sideline to sideline, a strong
agree.
athletic guy? I mean, it can't hurt. You know, I'm sorry, but what we're doing right now is awful. I don't think it could get worse by adding a more athletic, possibly higher upside guy. Yeah, bumps and bruises, yes. But within a couple weeks, maybe he figures it out. And what do you know? Maybe we have a decent linebacker for the future.
David Everett asked, "Do you think Manny is going to get another year in Blake James too? I sure hope not. Manny is a 8-4 coach. I will say this: if Manny keeps winning, if he wins the ACC, UNC just beat Wake Forest. Pitt, I think, won. I don't know if Virginia play this week. I don't really care either. If Manny goes 8-4, wins the bowl game, I'm not even going to talk about the Coastal for now. He's going to stay. I mean, that's the reality of the situation." 8-4 will get Manny another year. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, am I happy with the performance today? Not really, but we won. So it's one of those things. Like, I'm not happy with the performance, but we won the football game. We should have beat Georgia Tech by like 20 plus points. Someone mentioned James Williams didn't play that well today. There were a lot of missed tackles on his end. He took on there was a screenplay Georgia Tech ran. And this is the angle. I'm on the other side of the student section where I sit. He took an awful angle on that play. It was a screen pass. Took a complete awful angle, and they took it to the house for 6. That's been a common thing with James Williams. There's been a few missed tackles. Maybe it's like a freshman thing. I don't know. Improvements will come. But he is a freshman at the end of the day. So as long as we see improvements at the end of the day, development, that's going to be huge. But he's a freshman. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you got to remember, though, too, it wasn't just him taking these angles lately. Bubba Bolden was having issues with that, too. And he's more of an upperclassman, a guy who's gotten a lot more burn. So there's whatever we're doing to teach them about angles and stuff, I think we kind of need to scrap it and start over and try to find something a little better, because it's just some of these guys are superior athletes. They should never be behind the play due to poor teaching, basically, not understanding the right angle. They should be able to catch up to damn near anybody at any time, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing about like linebacker play, because I feel like everyone acknowledges, whether you're like pro Manny, not Manny, like at the end of the day, like everyone acknowledges like linebacker play is god awful. Like, how do you fix this situation? You didn't want to take Juwan Mitchell out of Texas because of you didn't. Ultimately, what I got from it was you wanted to play the young guys. If not, they were transferring, or the guys returning on your team. You bring a transfer portal player, they might bounce to the transfer portal. Like, this situation needs to be fixed moving forward if you want to have success at the Power 5 level. I'm not talking about the ACC level, but at the Power 5 level, you need to fix the linebacker situation for it. Their running back Gibbs, I believe he was the running back that took it to the house up the middle for a touchdown for like 50 yards. You got to fix that. You got to fix that.
Would you prefer to see us go to something, while it'd be hard for me to call it necessarily a zero linebacker core, but just go to more of a hybrid linebacker core instead? You know, mix those kind of guys in like a Chase Smith. Do you think that could benefit us?
I think I would like to test it out. At this point, you have nothing to lose. If you're playing a preferred walk-on like Ryan Rigoni,
yeah, man,
then I give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah.
Canes Freak 2001 3 times, $20 donation, greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Cannot thank you enough for the donation. Can Manny still write guys. Trying to figure that out.
Like right the ship, kind of like get
Right,
things right.
if it's ride the ship, if it's thinking about ride the ship, like this was an ugly game. It was an ugly win. We won the football game, but we should have beat Georgia Tech by 20 plus points. But I will say this, Ross, and maybe you disagree. Manny Diaz did not fumble the football 3 times. Manny Diaz did not miss a field goal. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't think this game in the sense of points margin is on Manny Diaz per se. I think it's more on the players. Rambo, Arroyo. Did a Rambo? Who? Knighton. And Borregales. That's a lot of points left on the board because of momentum shifts. You get a turnover by Avante Williams. Then you fumble the football with Arroyo. Charleston Rambo he can literally run for a TD. He stops, then gets stripped of a fumble. Knighton fumbles the football 5 yards in the air. They take it back for 6. That's not on Manny Diaz, in my opinion.
My question to you is then, could it not be something along the lines of bad teaching? Are we not teaching them how to carry the ball properly all the time? Are we not teaching them awareness? Are we not teaching them? I mean, because, that can play a role in this stuff, man. There's guys who notoriously do that, We see too many of these problems, dude. It's been too many issues. Well, it's not been one guy consistently all the time. It's never been my rate of guys.
I've never seen a fumble issue like this much in the first half at Miami. I will say that.
No, it was wild, dude. It was nuts.
It was awful. It was horrendous.
Yes.
So Canes Freak, thank you again for the $5 donation. Greatly appreciate it. Appreciate your support as well. I meant, do we can fire Manny Diaz still, or we give him another year? We got to play it out week by week. We almost lost to Georgia Tech. We won by 3 points. All of our wins are literally less than a touchdown. It's a week by week team. Play it by year. I'm still not on the Manny Diaz bandwagon by any means. I still need to see. I mean, we beat Georgia Tech, a 500 football team, by 3 points, and we should have won by like 20, 28. The fumbles are not on Manny Diaz, in my opinion. Take it week by week. We'll see what happens against Florida State in Tallahassee. Did they lose to NC State, Ross?
I didn't look. I heard Wake Forest lost.
The way I'm seeing is like if like you lose to NC State, like I'm thinking about like sold out crowd. I don't think it'll be a sellout crowd in Tallahassee for this game.
Yeah, good chance. Yeah, dude. Here, my thing with Diaz is, of course, yes, I want to see us end this ACC run. I want to see us do well, and heck, if we represent ourselves, win the coast or whatever, that's awesome. I mean, it's what we've been wanting to do. Yes, it's a down year for the ACC, but screw it. I mean, you got to win, and we hopefully would have the most wins for that. But my big thing, bro, this year, especially this year with Manny Diaz, and maybe it doesn't bother as many fans, but it bothers me, is I got to see him get a bowl win, dude. I got to see him get a bowl win versus an out-of-conference Power 5 team. I got to see it. These wins against the ACC and stuff, great. That's awesome. We got to be able to do it because that's our conference. But, bro, I got to see at least one Power 5 win and on a decent stage, which is a bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Michigan State, like they were down to Purdue. I haven't checked the score. They were down by like 8 points, I want to say, or less than 8 points when I last checked. They might have lost to Purdue. I think everyone can acknowledge like they're not the top 3 team in the nation. I think, in my opinion, they shouldn't be in the top 4. They don't look like a top 3 team. So we'll see what happens.
They're a good team.
No, they're a solid football team. I just don't think they're top 5 or top 3 in the nation. Just my opinion.
They lost 29-40.
They lost to Purdue, so they shouldn't be in the top 4 anymore.
Yeah, they lost 29-40. So yeah, pretty big.
I mean, I never thought they should be a top 5 team. I thought they were a top 25 team. I'll give them that. They're not top 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what's going to happen next week in Tallahassee. I think it's going to be a close game because our last 3 games have literally been less than a touchdown. We're playing away at Florida State. People, I'm sure, are going to go to the stadium. It's Miami, Florida State. It's going to fill out.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a close game.
I think that they've made enough improvements in areas that could give us some problems. I know this. I'm not saying that these are like great improvements they've made. I think it'll come down a lot to coaching in that game. It depends on what Norvell is going to really dial up, and his coaches are going to dial up against us. I think that's going to play a huge role in this. Florida State, yes, Florida State's down right now, but Florida State has talented football players. They might not have as many talented players as they had when they were Jimbo, but there's always talent at that school, just like there's always talent at Miami, regardless of our record. There's always talent there. When you're one of these schools, you will have talent. It just matters how much. But yeah, man, I'm worried that it's going to be a little bit more of a competitive game. I'm kind of right there with you. I think our issues, especially tackling, could really come back to haunt us, dude, if they start to use that dual threat quarterback heavily.
Kane Freak 2001 3 times. Guys, talk about our linebackers, please. Wow, we are bad there. With the $50 donation, I greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for your support.
Yes.
Cannot stress enough, man. To anyone, taking time out of their night, their evening to donate to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Kane's Freak 2001 3 times, man. Thank you so much. Guys, talk about our linebackers, please. Wow, we are bad there. I 110% agree. Ross, you were talking about Omar Graham Jr. There was a tweet last night by a recruiting website, I believe. Sleeper's Athlete was the name, saying Omar Graham Jr. is probably the best two-way prospect in the state of Florida. He was a running back last night for Stranahan High School, running touchdowns up the gut. The kid's a stud, and he's going to Florida State, yet he wasn't a take for Miami. I think Omar Graham Jr. needs to be a take at Miami no matter what. Maybe we can revisit that situation. I don't know, but that's a big loss on Miami's end, especially with our linebacker core right now. It will bite us in the butt in the near future. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just letting you know our linebacker core sucks. I don't care if you're pro Manny. I don't care if you're anti-Manny. Our linebacker core sucks. Our best linebacker runs a 5.3 40. Let that sink in.
Omar was this kind of guy we needed, man. The enforcer guy. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he's got enough speed to make it happen for sure. And he's athletic enough, dude. And he wanted to be a Cane, and that's what hurts, bro. He wanted to be a Miami Hurricane. When we were treating him like a priority, he was totally in, bro. He was completely eyes on the Canes and not really anybody else at that time. We had him sold, and then we decided to slow play him because we wanted to go after Devin Jackson. We decided to push that to the side because we wanted to try to get that flashier, we wanted more speed basically at linebacker. So we chose Devin Jackson. Well, we didn't get him. Florida State did a smart thing. They sensed that. They swooped in and they said, Omar, your commitment is good today. If you want to be a Seminole, you tell us and your commitment is good today. And they played it perfect.
No, and Penn State wanted him as well. I mean, it was Penn State, Florida State, Miami. He wasn't taking Miami. Thank you again, Kane Freak 2001. Very generous donation. Greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Huge donation. Appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
100% agree, man. I mean, I just don't understand. Georgia Tech's running back ran through the middle of the field. Nobody was there. He was untouchable. That is completely unacceptable. I understand the 4-2-5 scheme. You're looking at inside linebackers that are athletic, trying to protect in pass coverage against the run. We are awful. We are
to allow those kind of runs, but runs that actually could have probably gotten ran down or at least somewhat impacted by more athletic guys, makes me wonder then why the hell, I've mentioned Chase Smith, guys like that. If you're gonna at least attempt to run this linebacking core, add some athleticism and some speed. Corey Flagg and those guys are not gonna cut it, dude. They're just not going to cut it.
No, absolutely. And that's what worries me. Like, we're getting by. Like NC State, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech. We're winning by less than a touchdown. We won the football game. We won 3 in a row. I get it. Like, congrats. Yeah. That's awesome. We have a 3-game win streak.
Yes.
But against, like, Alabama, the Michigan States, the big boys, when you get to that top 25 ranking, that's when I get nervous. That's when I get nervous with our linebacker play. We're going to scramble around. We're going to get lucky. We're going to get crafty with these mediocre, subpar, above average teams. We're going to survive. We're going to win those games. Yeah. But against the big boys, that's when it shows. And Manny Diaz has failed to show a signature win so far. That's where I get nervous.
Like I said, man, the big thing to me is that bowl win this year against a Power 5 out of conference team. It's something I got to see from him, dude. I don't know why it's a big deal to me, but for some reason, it's just a big deal to me. I got to see him put it together and make it happen.
So, Ross, I mean, to sum up this Georgia Tech game, I mean, what are your pros? What did you take from it? What are your cons moving forward?
You know, I like that we are trying to really establish an RB1. I like that we're going that route.
Yeah,
I love it. I think that we could use it in different ways. You know, I don't think Rooster doesn't necessarily have to get 32 carries a game, but if he could come in and get 20 to 24, and we could get some of those power runs off to guys like Thad, and give Franklin a little Rooster a little break, maybe that'll make him even, since he's going to have the fresh legs in the fourth quarter, maybe more of a viable pass catching option for big plays. Who knows? 32 runs, and especially running up the middle, bro, a guy his size, it's going to slow him down eventually in the game. I don't care. It's just going to happen. But, hey, man, it was cool to see that. It was great to see Tyler Van Dyke still doing his thing, man. I was, of course, hoping to see a little more of his crafty leg work. He didn't run a whole lot today. But, yeah, man, I mean, I've always felt the little leg work he's been doing, dude. Honestly, he's been a big deal for our offense. It's added a creative twist to things that makes it hard for DCs to really, count for it. Because he's Tyler Van Dyke. You don't expect him to take off. He does, but he does it smartly. Yeah, but, dude, we moved forward in that aspect. The pass blocking, I thought wasn't bad this game. It wasn't fantastic by any means, but it wasn't bad. Run blocking still definitely needs some work. Rambo, unbelievable game. Great job. 3 wide receivers got in the end zone, spreading the ball around in big time. So that's okay. The drops, the fumbles, that's not okay. That's not okay at all. That'll bite us in the ass really bad against a better team. But I think, I think we kind of eked out a win. We kind of scraped one out against a very mediocre team. I don't know if maybe 2 years ago or so that this would have been a game that Miami would have lost for sure, because we didn't win some of these types of games. We didn't win close games against bad teams. So, I have a hard time praising this win, but I just hope that whatever went wrong in this game, they're learning from it and they're adapting going forward. That's all I can ask for, man.
Yeah, I mean, Wholesome One, appreciate the comment. Thanks for tuning in, man. Greatly appreciate your support. Has an outstanding YouTube channel. Go check him out. Talks football, breaks down film. Flag is horrible to watch on film. It hurts to know 44 and Troutman are the other guys in the middle. I completely agree. I mean, this personnel is god awful. Roger Horn, my apologies. Ragone played best middle linebacker today. He's the preferred walk-on. I mean, let that sink in. At the end of the day, look, we won the football game. I'm glad we won. We scraped out the win. But just realize Georgia Tech is an awful football team. Their quarterback is god-awful.
Yes.
Their offense, they had that running back Gibbs. That's it. I mean, look, I was there, man. I saw them. Like, if the screenplay wasn't there, that's it. That's all they had was, like, that one screenplay, and that was it. I mean, literally, we kept them in the game. 3 turnovers. We should have won by 20-plus points. I'm happy we won. I'm completely happy about that. But I'm worried that this is going to bite us in the butt because we played awful today. I hope we can fix these issues. Fumbles aren't on Manny Diaz. They're not. I understand. Look, I've been the most negative on Manny Diaz. I've been the hardest on Manny Diaz, in my opinion, than a lot of other people. 3 fumbles and a missed field goal are not his fault. He doesn't teach fumbles that I know of. Right? Maybe he does.
They teach ball carrying is what they teach, bro. I mean, that is something that they do teach. And it's different for running backs. It's different for wide receivers. They carry a ball a different way at different times. But what was bothersome to me about the Rambo one was just his lack of awareness. He saw the one guy, was he coming from the right and he missed the guy from the left or the opposite? I can't remember which one it was, but he had absolutely no clue that guy was right there with him getting ready to hit him. He had no clue, bro. And that I'd like to see a guy like him. I know he's got the talent. I know he's got the smarts to do it. So just, keep the head on the swivel a little bit more if you need to.
For the people asking, Manny Diaz, if he goes 8-4, yes, he's going to stay as the University of Miami coach. If he loses the bowl game, 8-5, I don't know what's going to happen there. I think he'll get another year still. I thought 7-5, he'll still get another year, according to Manny Navarro of The Athletic. That
5-year deal, bro. This is what allowed Manny Diaz to have a season like this, to where it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't like bottoming out, and that 5-year deal kind of saved him.
I would say, like, I think a lot of fans do agree, like, this was an ugly win. This wasn't, like, the most enjoyable win. And, like, a lot of fans are kind of, like, it doesn't feel like a win, but it was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be thoroughly excited about that win because we know how much better we really are.
Exactly. And we should have won by 20 plus points. I think everyone agrees by that. We should have won by a lot more. At the end of the day, fumbles are not Manny's fault. I do agree with that. But even with fumbles, the Canes should have put Georgia Tech away in the second. And I completely agree. I think Miami should have won by a lot more. As long as the U is winning, the U is fine. Wins are wins. But we got to beat Florida State next week. That is a must win. I don't care if Don Shula's coaching. I don't care if Jimmy Johnson's coaching. I don't care if Mike Tomlin's coaching. I don't care who's coaching this team. You have to beat Florida State. It is unacceptable to lose to Florida State. I think that's going to tell us a lot about Manny Diaz's tenure at Miami.
It's also, especially this year and going into 2023, it's a big deal in us for recruiting locally to make sure that we stay on top there and are the better team because they happen to have, I don't know how they got it, but they happen to have buzz in the 2022 and 2023 classes, mostly 2023, but they've got a little buzz, dude. And we're looking like our recruiting class is going to be very small and we're going to be dipping into the transfer portal a lot, dude. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's tough because my hope is, I guess what I can say is my hope is that if we can beat Florida State, maybe it'll sway at least one or two guys that we really need. Like, like Wesley Basaint, maybe that could help get him to Florida or something. If we beat FSU and win out, maybe that could get him, and that's worth it if that happens. But I'm worried about recruiting, bro. Even beating FSU, I'm just worried about this class.
No, I mean, absolutely. I think the staff as well is focusing hard on JUCO players. We saw Jeffrey Mba, very interested in Miami. I think there was a tight end from Syracuse as well that was visiting. We're going to go heavy on JUCOs and transfer portal players. No doubt about that. I think we're going to maybe get a late sleeper 3-star, if anything,
We're making offers again in the 2022 class. We've made an offer to an unranked safety, an unranked cornerback, and then a 3-star offensive lineman out of California that's committed to California.
Jesus de Hoyos asked, why is it that Miami can't put together a good recruiting class when other programs are down, but they can? Because I think other programs are recruiting against Miami in the sense of saying that, like, hey, they just take guys from the transfer portal.
They don't develop their own.
Yeah.
That makes it hard in recruiting. If they can't turn around and say, hey, man, we developed you. We're putting these guys in the NFL. We developed hands-on for multiple years. But no, man, the biggest one that we got right now is Gregory Rousseau, and he got the hell out as fast as he could.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. Cane Freak 2001 3 times with another $50 donation.
Wow.
Greatly appreciate your support. New subscriber. Loves our show. We greatly appreciate your support, man. Thank you so much. Retired from crypto.
We got a crypto baller in the house. Okay.
I appreciate it. Hey, I greatly appreciate your support, man.
Yes, sir.
If you ever want to come on our Canes After Dark show, you're more than welcome to. We're on Twitter. Please drop your email, and we will send you an email immediately, and we'll get you on the show. No doubt about it. So thank you so much, Cane Freak 2001 3 times for your support.
Absolutely.
Ross, we're 35 minutes in. We got 95 people watching us live. Let's crack that 100 mark. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe. Greatly appreciate everyone's support. Anything else you want to talk about the Georgia Tech game that we have not touched up on?
What did you think about our tight end play today?
Well, I mean, Mallory did make a really good catch, middle of the field. It was like a diving catch, moving the chains. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, Arroyo did fumble. Like that was a big fumble. Like, you get a pick from Avonte Williams and you fumble the football. That's completely unacceptable. I understand he's a freshman, but at the end of the day, it's not acceptable. Mallory made a huge catch. I don't think we utilize him as much. I understand that, like,
have we moved on
with his hands? We've moved on. I don't think
we moved on
tight ends because, like, in pass blocking too, like, Mallory's awful.
No, I know.
Like, we can't really utilize Mallory, and then Arroyo fumbles the football. it's kind of like, hey, like when we need them, they don't come through. And then Mallory fumbles the football in like a moving the chain situation against Pittsburgh, and we almost lost. Like we almost converted on downs, gave the possession to Pittsburgh last week. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't. I think Rhett Lashlee acknowledges like he can't count on the tight ends.
Yeah, it depend. Yeah.
So like just screw the tight ends. Like they're, you know what I mean? Like not
if they get open, they got open. If not,
unless the guy's wide open, like you
Yeah.
can't really count on your tight ends. Is the way I see it.
I mean, it could give chances. You know, if it gets bad enough and it stays bad enough, you know, it could give chances to guys like Mammarelli just to come in and just be blockers. You know, just extra hands and stuff like that.
We need pass blockers at tight end. There was a play in Pittsburgh. Hates to relive in the past that Will Mallory, like the edge rusher, completely annihilated him.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
to the quarterback easily, 9
But
and
bro, we put that weight on him to turn him into an all-around tight end. Remember, that was the whole thing.
We might need max protection at times with our O-line. That's the reality of the situation.
He can't offer it, but yet we put all that effort into rebuilding his body. We slowed him down a ton by adding that weight, and now it's like, dude, what does he really offer except for a couple little plays here and there?
Here's my thing, like Rhett Lashlee's play calling, like okay, like I understand it's not great at times. There's several times where it's questionable. Today's game specifically, I thought we ran in the middle of the field a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I think he kind of sticks with his guns and he's like, I'm going to run the middle of the field. That's what I'm going to call. I'm not going to run 9 on the outside. Like, I feel like he doesn't get like out of the box. Like he sticks with his game plan. He just goes with it. And I feel like he doesn't get creative and kind of goes unorthodox. I really like that flea flicker he called to start the second half. I really like that. I will be honest. I thought that was a great call. Outstanding. Creative, even if it didn't go well. I thought it was outstanding.
I'll say not even just that, but to start the half. But we did great starting the game in general by getting up 14-0. It was a bummer that we had fumbles and it got, but at least we start. I mean, dude, I don't know how long it's been. Honestly, it's been a long time. So I can sit back and say we started a game strong and then came out at halftime and started it strong then too. It's been a long time since I think we've done that.
Rooster did had outside runs, but I would just want to see him specifically on the outside. There were a lot of times on like second down, third down, we just run middle of the field with any running back regardless, and we didn't convert. And that's why I see, like, if you're going to utilize Rooster, use him on the outside. That's it.
Yeah. Especially when we have power guys right there in our running back room.
That's it. Use him on the outside. He gets away from pressure on the outside. On the edge, his cuts outside. That's where you got to utilize him. Is it that Lashlee's play calling is trash? Did we put up to 500 yards of offense last 3 games, or is it that he calls for plays at critical times? I feel like as an OC, you're going to be evaluated when you play good opponents. Like good opponents, Alabama, Michigan State, I'll give them a good opponent. They're a top 15 team, in my opinion. I know they lost to Purdue, but they're ranked number 3 in the nation before that loss. How's your play calling against the top tier elite opponents? That's the way I will question you. I would say the offense is night and day compared to D'Eriq King as our quarterback. I still haven't seen a lot of empty sets with Rhett Lashlee as Tyler Van Dyke as quarterback. I'd like to see a lot more. I feel like he can be a lot. I feel like if we kept airing it out, taking deep shots against, which we did at times, we tried on one-on-one situations against Georgia Tech. I feel like we would have been a lot more successful. Fumbles did not help us out whatsoever. I don't think Lashlee called a bad game whatsoever today.
Actually, one of the big reasons that I've been adamant about Manny Diaz winning out of conference Power 5, winning against an out of conference Power 5 opponent, is because I want to see if this Lashlee offense works in that scenario. I want to see how far it can take us. It looks nice right now, so I want to see if it's just good in the ACC against these guys, or is it can be taken outside the ACC and still be productive.
Look, I mean, N'Kosi Perry had an outstanding game against Oklahoma State. Like,
yes.
You know, I feel like just put the right quarterback in play with a strong arm, be successful.
Yeah.
You know, with Rhett Lashlee's offense, he loves taking deep shots, one-on-one situations. You need the right quarterback involved. D'Eriq King's shoulder was re-injured against Alabama. We were extremely limited, and I think that's on the staff.
If I was a wide receiver recruit, I'd be interested in playing with Tyler Van Dyke. Straight up.
Would love that. And I
Yep.
think Charleston Rambo, that could be catered to him if he wants to return to school next year.
I mean, if for some reason he doesn't get the respect that he's supposed to get, and he's not, he should be about a second-round pick, honestly. That's how I see it. If he plays to his full potential,
Yeah.
I think he could be about a second, third-round pick. I don't think he should settle for anything less than that. Second would be like max, but yeah, third is about what I see him at.
110% agree. If Charleston Rambo gets evaluated in the 4th or 5th round, do not go to the draft. Come back. Why not?
Yeah. Because then you have a whole year with the quarterback that you already developed a chemistry with. Imagine a whole year of those guys together. The numbers might be pretty sick.
All right, Ross. Anything else you got to say before we wrap it up? David asked, do you guys see Manny winning a national title? If not, he can go. I've been a Canes fan for 40 years. I just see Miami win Natty with him. I just can't win with him. Basically, I don't see Manny Diaz winning a national title here. That's just my opinion. But he will stay if he goes 8-4 or 9-4.
I'm just begging for a bowl win, man, against an Power 5 opponent. Just start somewhere with it, Just start somewhere.
Yeah.
But I will say before we head off here, Canes fans, keep your guys eyes open this next week. We'll have some recruits on. We'll be talking a little bit of recruiting with some very, very solid players. Very solid players.
100%. We'll be doing a recruiting show. A lot of great guests, outstanding guests, actually. I think a lot of Canes fans will be surprised.
There's going to be one I think that's going to shock them pretty well.
Recruits at the game, Sigmund had asked. Brian Swords was there. Class of 2024 already got invited to the All-American Bowl game for his respected class, which is outstanding, meaning he'll be a 4-star recruit at least. Met with him after the game. Great kid, great family. The kid's going to be a stud. He's 6'4". The sky's the limit for him. Renaud Smith was there as well. Class of 2023 athlete, another playmaker. Anyone else who I did not mention?
We had the number one long snapper in the nation was invited to be there. He sent out his invitation thing. So
long snappers, baby. So no, they are.
One of those little things. It's one of those little things that can go a long way because you know what happens when you get a bad long snap.
It's a little thing. It's a little thing. I mean, everybody's like, oh, it's a long snapper. No, it does matter.
No, you just want a dependable guy. That's all you can ask for. Just a dependable guy. Don't turn the ball over.
Exactly. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Once again, we're going to go live next week. We've got the Brandon Merriweather show as well. Tune into that. And always, all about the U. We got the win. It was hideous. It was ugly. I'll take it. Go Canes.
3 in a row.
Or let's beat Florida State like the 7th year in a row. Maybe 6 or 5. Who cares? Let's beat Florida State.
Let's whoop their ass.
100%. All right, guys. Take care.